Hey folks, Jessica here. We're in Granblue Fantasy. Steak is in my lap as well, hanging out with us. And I want to do a quick update to the quick update I did yesterday. So yesterday I released a PSA kind of video with recommendations on what to do with your Tier 3 Summer Fortune ticket. Because I believe everybody got one of those. They were given out because folks were mad they didn't get anything from Summer Fortune. So I believe everybody got one of those. If you didn't get one of those, let me know, because I'm curious now. I talked to my dad, who received two tier 3 tickets originally and one tier 2 ticket, and he also got a tier 3 ticket from this, so he has three tier 3 tickets. My dad is having a good time in Granblue. But today I wanted to cover some of the comments people made, because they made some good points and I actually agree with them. I want to highlight them for everybody, and then we'll also talk about tier 2 tickets and tier 1 tickets if you have those. So in the original video I highlighted that my number one pick was gonna be Belial. If you do not have a Belial, you should take a Belial first. That should be your number one priority. And I'm not going to get into fully what Belial does, but the summary is the sub aura on Belial, when fully uncapped, is 30k supplemental damage per hit to your team, any element. That's a large, large, large damage gain, and very beneficial to get for any team, really. In addition to that, though, and the main reason is Belial is not a sparkable summon and not a ticketable summon in most cases. Therefore, a lot of people are chasing a Belial summon. A lot of people really want a Belial summon and don't really have any way other than pure luck and happenstance to get a Belial summon. So this is the easiest Belial you're ever going to get. And honestly, the fact that they gave everyone a free Belial, essentially a potential free Belial, is nuts. Because, like, lots of people go really deep in the draws trying to get Belial. So Belial should be your number one pick. But I understand a lot of folks are less excited about a summon than, say, a new character, because a summon is mostly a numbers game. A new character is like a new story, it's new skills for your, like, new tools for your kit, like a new, like, visual, someone on the front lines. I get it. But if you want, like, the purely, like, logical choice based on what's going to most benefit your account, then Belial is number one. Now, that was well covered in the video, but folks also mentioned that the Archangel summons, the Primarch summons, are worth a look too, and I agree, and let's talk about them. So the Archangel summons, Raphael for Wind, Uriel for Earth, Metatron for Light, Serial for Dark, Gabriel for Water, Fire, or Michael for Fire. Uh, all of these are also not sparkable. So, similar to Belial, you might want to consider them for that reason. And let's just look at Michael, because Fire is the next United fight. So, the thing that Michael does, it's a 5% boost to Fire Allies damage cap. It's a 10% boost at 3-star uncap, which is the maximum for these. And these don't have a 4-star uncap yet, so if they ever give them a 4-star uncap, then likely this boost would further go up. In a vacuum, a 10% boost to your Fire Allies damage cap is actually pretty equivalent to Belial. Like, I run Belial plus whatever Archangel summon is relevant for that element. This is a very large gain. The reason why I don't recommend these as strongly as, say, Belial is because Belial benefits any element. I run Belial literally in every single team that I have, except for if I'm trying to do a fight specifically that requires I have the absolute maximum HP I can get. Belial's in every team. These Archangel summons are a little harder to recommend in the same way because they only benefit one element. But if you're trying to focus on one element, then yes, the next pick after Belial before characters is probably actually the Archangel summon. And again, in particular Michael, because Fire is the next United fight. Some additional caveats though. This is a damage cap increase. Belial is a flat supplemental damage boost. So for a newer player, this is not going to be as big a deal because you likely aren't hitting for damage cap if you're early in the game. I hate giving advice specifically for new players because you're not a new player forever. And there will come a day when you're older, when you understand, when you will hit for damage cap and you'll start really appreciating having these. But again, same caveat to Belial. I know people would rather have a character in a lot of cases, especially if you're more casual, like you'll just say it like it is, than the numbers gain of one of these sub-auras. Though I will point out, the calls from Archangels are all pretty good. Like, Michael's is a Dispel and a Delay. Belial's call sucks. Don't ever call Belial. Belial lives in the sub or a basement and stays there. Don't call Belial. Really, I mean it. But yeah, because these are more limited in usefulness than, say, a Belial, I would actually say if you don't have any of the 10.0 characters on Game with, I'll link the tier list again there. My reasoning was in the last video. If you don't have any of the top meta-defining characters for the element, like, say, Dran Nihan, Dran Narmaya, Dran Sandalphon, Summer Zoe. If you don't have those, Summer Zoe, if you're running Dark Enmity, again, the caveat, in case anybody misses that. If you don't have any of those, then I would not fault you at all if you wanted to take, say, Grand Narmaya over a Raphael summon. Like, that's fair. The Raphael summon is going to be the better long-term pick because all those characters are sparkable. The Raphael summon is not. But I understand. I understand. So before we move on from summon, let's mention Tsukinoko. I think some people are eyeballing Tsukinoko. Tsukinoko is a good summon and also not sparkable, but Tsukinoko is primarily for enabling a 0-button one-turn kill, or well, a one-turn kill with an Earth team for United Fight, and I guess potentially also for like farming. But the Earth United Fight just happened, so Tsukinoko is not really going to get a lot of value for a long while until the next Earth United Fight. So I would not recommend Tsukinoko. Because who knows, you might just randomly pull another Tsukinoko between now and the next Earth United Fight. And if you're strong enough in Earth, you don't need a Tsukinoko to 0-button one-turn kill. Just watch my United Fight prep videos for the Earth United Fight, the OTK videos. You want to see that in action. Grand Order, really only for racing things like Akasha or, well, Grand Order HL, because her sub-aura, when fully uncapped, gotta be fully uncapped to get any benefit from her, is bonus damage against non-element foes, of which there's not that many. Kaguya is just for farming and XP, like, so really that's how it stands. Belial, still the #1 pick. I would rate the Archangels on the same level as any of like the tier 1 double S tier 10.0 on Game With characters. So Dran Narmaya, Dran Nihan, Dran Sandalphon, Summer Zoe if you're running specifically Dark Enmity. I wouldn't fault you took the character over the summon, but the summon is probably the better long-term choice. If you have all the top tier characters, I would recommend the Primarch summons over any of the other characters. I know that some people are gonna not like that, but that's the best thing you can do with this ticket in terms of making your account as a whole stronger. So let's talk tier 2 weapons. Hey folks, Future Jessica here. Apologies if this video keeps on going down and coming up in your feed, because I actually took it back down to add this clip, and then I re-uploaded it. Because someone in the comments mentioned something that I actually think is a really good point, and I didn't originally point it out, and I want to speak to it now. And that is, you can take 100k crystals with this tier 2 ticket. Now, there's upsides and downsides to that approach. If you don't know, 100k crystals is more than a spark. It's 333 pulls, roughly. And that will let you spark. The issue with that approach is you're going to have to wait for the actual banner of the character you want to be available. So, for example, if you wanted something like Valentine's Grimnir, Valentine's is a long ways off. You would have to wait until that banner comes along. So in addition to not getting instant gratification, you would also have to likely wait until that banner comes back around. If you wanted a Holiday Narmaya, for example, which is one of my #1 recommendations, you would have to wait till Christmas. If you're okay with that, then yeah, take the crystals, wait, and then spark, because you'll likely pull more than just the character you're sparking for. Like, you'll spark for the character guaranteed, but you'll likely pull other things, maybe other new characters you want, maybe a bunch of gold moons that you need for, like, Dama, that kind of thing. So the spark does make sense if that's the case, if you're fine with waiting. But the real reason I wanted to make this addendum is there's one specific case that you should keep in mind. If you're gonna pick one of these summer character weapons, do keep in mind that it is very likely that at the end of the month there'll be another banner with a lot of the summer characters in it. So if you're gonna pull on one of these summer characters, then yeah, you actually probably should just take the crystals and then spark for the summer character when they come up on the banner. Now, again, the crystals approach has some downsides. I can't guarantee you that there will be a banner at the end of the month. with the characters you want. That is traditionally, I believe, check this, a thing that has happened in the past. And I would wager will likely happen again, but you never know. So do keep in mind that that's a thing. If you want to be really safe, hold on to a crystal, wait till the end of the summer season, see who's on that banner, and if it's a character you want that is on that banner, take the crystals, spark them then. That's going to be your best approach. If it's a character outside of a summer season, then it's up to you whether or not you're willing to wait. So yes, that is a great option. And also, if you absolutely don't know what character you want to pick at this time, just take the crystals and sit on them. Anyways, that's all I wanted to add. And again, sorry if this video keeps on going down, popping up in your notifications, because I did really want to add this, so I did take it down. And this is Future Jessica. Now I will throw you back to Past Jessica. Bye. There are a lot of tier 2 weapons, so I'm not going to get too far into the weeds of like talking about every one of them because I want this video to be relatively short. I'm gonna give you some advice at a high level, and then if you want to get further nuance beyond that, I would just say again, look at the game with tier lists. So, first thing I'd recommend, consider the Zodiac characters, the best of the Zodiac characters, not any of them. So that would be Indira for Wind, because she is definitely a 10.0 in game with, and extremely strong in terms of utility and buffs for your team, and just overall just usefulness. She's a very powerful character. Next one would be Makira for Earth, also another 10.0 game with, very strong buffer for your team, debuffer, just brings everything you really want from Earth team. Both extremely meta characters. Holiday Namaya, if you want a pure damage dealer, she is probably the strongest damage dealer in the game, right alongside Grand Narmaya, maybe right alongside like a Transcendent 6. She is extremely powerful. Like, I'm not gonna get into it. I did a character spot later. She's very powerful if you want a pure damage dealer. And then beyond, if we go beyond that, we're into territory where you're just gonna go look at the game with tier list. I'm not gonna get, there's so many characters. I might mention one more. That's probably gonna be Summer Cagliostro. Is pretty important for a swimsuit cag is pretty important for a water crit team, a primal water crit team. And that is kind of the meta build. So she, in that way, she is kind of meta defining if you want to run Primal Water Crit. And that's all I'll say about these. Actually, one more thing. The vintage weapons. I don't recommend you taking these. Gisla's the strongest of them, but I mean, these are just 30 moon weapons. These tickets are better spent on characters than these weapons. The seasonal summons. I don't recommend taking any of these seasonal summons. They're not. This pool is weaker in summons than the other ticket. The Optimus and Omega Opus sets, these are Dark Opus weapon uncap things. These essentially do get you a gold bar in addition to making it so you don't have to clear that boss, Lucille ACHL. I do not recommend you take these. Just learn how to clear Lucille ACHL, or they added a thing recently where if you spend a lot of mats, like halos and urns and stuff, you can basically turbocharge yourself and enable full elixirs for the Lucille ACHL fight. If you really want to clear Lucilius HL and you don't want to work with other people to do it, you can just do that and solo Lucilius HL and spend a whole bunch of full elixirs. So these are not that important. Also, you can get these from United Fight now. I do not recommend taking these. I would recommend taking one of the seasonal limit characters. And I'll point out, Holiday Maya is from Christmas. She's not going to be back again until Christmas. Or if you want a Valentine's character, you've got almost a whole year to wait for the Valentine's characters. So, yeah, characters for tier 2. Actually, one more character to think about if you got a tier 2 ticket. Summer Mim Lamel. I did a character spotlight on her just recently, and Fire United Fight's next one, she's going to be basically meta for everybody that's got her. She enables one-turn kill. She works great. Valanon basically allows Alanon to activate on turn 1. Summer Mim Lamel is kind of a slam dunk if you're preparing for the next Fire United Fight, so consider her for this ticket. One thing to consider, though, we're still in swimsuit season. So if you have a tier 2 ticket, maybe wait till swimsuit season's over, till summer season's over, to see if you pull a Mimlamel, because it's gonna be an issue if you pick Mimlamel and then randomly pull her on like a free pull or something. So keep that in mind. But yes, she's another candidate. Wow, I just gave this big rant about all this stuff without hitting record. So let's do it. One more time. Okay, so if you have a tier 1 ticket, your choices here are all the superlative weapons or zero special pick ticket. Let's talk about a misconception people have. Some people are looking at zero special pick ticket and thinking, oh, that's 150 gold moons. And they're looking at superlative weapon thinking, oh, that's 100 gold moons. By the logic of gold economy, a gold moon economy, gold moon economy, that hurts me to say. Gold moon economy, zero special pick tickets better. That's actually wrong. These normally, yes, in the store, these are zero star uncapped, so 100 gold moons. And then you have to get 3 more Damascus in order to fully uncap them, which is what you want to do if you get one of these. So 160 gold moons. These come fully uncapped. So these are actually 160 gold moons as opposed to 150 gold moons. So these are actually more valuable in terms of gold moon economy. I'm going to stop saying that. So, that said, few people mentioned, and I actually agree, these are an optimization for the most endgame of the most endgame players. I have done a video on Skypiercer because that is the one I have in Dark. And this is a gain over someone who does not have one. That's true. Let's not like bullshit ourselves. These things are a damage gain. Specifically Skypiercer is. But some heavy caveats apply normally. Normally, the comparison is one of these things better than 8 Damascus bars? Because remember, 160 gold moons, right? 100 for the weapon, 3 more Damascus bars, so 60 more gold moons for the 3 Damascus you need to fully uncap it. So 160 gold moons, 8 Damascus bars. The comparison is 8 Damascus bars more valuable to you than 1 weapon? It's almost always going to be 8 Damascus bars is more valuable to you. If I had it to go back, if I could go back, I would still have to think about whether or not I would rather have the 8 Damascus bars. I've never been completely off the fence on that. 8 Damascus bars is tremendously helpful. It basically lets you build your grid just straight up if you've got some grand weapons laying around. That said, you don't have the option of getting 8 Damascus bars here, because if that was an option, that would be my recommendation, but it's not an option. You get this thing fully uncapped. So by that metric, these are all very strong. And I will talk to Skypiercer because it is the one I have. If you looked at the top 3 United Fight performers individually, they were all they're all Earth Luchas running Skypiercer. And I believe that was actually the same thing for several United Fights in the past. It was all Luchas with Skypiercer. Luchas with Skypiercer are extremely powerful, extremely meta. I'm not going to get fully into what Skypiercer does because I did a video on it. It's on the channel. But summary, it gives you big enmity. It gives you this effect if it's being main-handed. Guaranteed triple on Jita. You take a little bit of damage every turn, and you have a 30% echo all the time with Jita. And then also a bonus damage nuke whenever a character triple attacks. The fact that this lets Jita guarantee triple is a really big deal in addition to the echo, because there's tons of characters that can guarantee triple. Getting Jita to guarantee triple is a much tougher proposal, so this opens up a lot of consistency options, and when you're trying to get top United Fight, consistency of output along with just throughput are very important. So let's not bullshit ourselves. These are very strong weapons. They will benefit you if you get one. But some additional caveats. These are not good grid weapons. So Skypiercer is big enmity. That's the only thing it does. Well, this bonus damage nuke also once in your grid. Vagabond, Kalulu's weapon, also gives big enemy. Gives you bonus skill damage cap for Dark. Like, Skypiercer in grid is not actually that much better than any other weapon. And that goes for all of them. So really, don't look at them as grid weapons. Look at them as main hand weapons. It's partly why Skypiercer is so strong, because Lucha is so strong. So if you want to know which one of these is the best, it's Skypiercer. It's Skypiercer. These other ones are going to be situational. They're being good for meme videos. They're going to be good for specific niches. But in terms of raw power and actual usage, Skypiercer is the one that you see all the time. And it's the one I would recommend if you were going to take one of these. But we should talk about the Zero Special Pick Ticket. Okay, Zero Special Pick Ticket, and if you're, again, wondering where any of these come from, it's Gold Moon Shop. So Zero Special Pick Ticket, and then all the superlative weapons. So, Zero Special Pick Ticket. This lets you take almost any character, though I was looking at this earlier, and I don't quite know what's up, because there are some characters missing here? Because I don't see, like... Huh. I don't see the Lagfest characters. Like, I don't see Grand Narmaya here. And I'm not excluding... Or maybe I am. No, huh, weird. What? Yeah, because I don't have Reinhardt Czar, and he's not showing up in that filter. And like I said, like Grand Narmaya is not here, and like, yeah. So this might not literally be everything. So keep that in mind. Like there might check if you're thinking about this one, but it gets you a lot of the characters, and it does get you. Let's do this. Dark SSR does get you access to Belial here as well. So this is a great option if you want to future-proof yourself, because this thing doesn't expire. So in theory, if we get to September when your tier 1 ticket will expire and you don't want to take a superlative weapon, you could take the serial pick ticket and just sit on it until something you want becomes available. But this is a decent choice. And also, if you didn't get a tier 3 ticket but you got a tier 1 ticket, well, you know, no sympathy. You could go the long route, get the serious special pick ticket, and then get Belial with it. That's totally an option. But yeah, this is a great choice if you don't want a weapon. For most people, this is probably going to be the one that makes the most sense over the weapon. But I want to address the fact that the superlative weapons are going to be a gain. The reason why people say they're not usually is because they're comparing them to versus a giant pile of Damascus bars, in which case a giant pile of Damascus bars is almost always going to be better. But the weapon versus, say, a character, that's a little bit of a different... Like, if you already have Belial, you already have all the 10.0 characters, then your options are a superlative weapon or just a random sparkable character. I would recommend the superlative weapon. Like, that's a spicy take, but the superlative weapon is so hard to get, so prestigious, that if you already have all the top tier characters and the summons that are unsparkable, the weapon probably actually makes more choice. Is it gonna be useful to you today? Maybe not. Maybe you need to be very endgame to really see the benefit. But it is the one that makes the most choice. In terms of moon economy, out of this particular set of choices. So those are ground rules. If you have all the non-sparkable summons you want for a tier 1 ticket, and you have all the characters you really need to have, I would consider the weapon, honestly, before I take a Zero special pick ticket. There's something you said, though, for a Zero special pick ticket, just taking it and sitting on it until something you really want comes along, that's an option too. All right, hopefully that's been helpful. Again, it was meant to be just a quick update to the last update. If you want the full context of all my recommendations, go look at that video. I'll add it in the description. Hopefully it's been helpful. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!